Yes, good morning, guys. It is Saturday morning. A bit of an impromptu breakfast with pure Coys today. Brentford at home in the Premier League. We'll get into it. What is the weather like, Burst, where you are, where I am? It is pretty grim. We've had pretty bad storm yesterday, lots of high winds, terrible rain. Today it's calmer, but it's still grim out. But guys, happy Saturday to you. It is the first Saturday in December. Christmas is fast approaching. I hope everyone's ready. I hope everyone's sorted, got everything they need. For me, I'm nowhere near. I will be typical man. It will be Amazon the last week of Christmas. I'll be smashing it out. Hopefully, touch wood. But guys, it is a massive game today. Spurs at home to Brentford in the Premier League. I feel like I say it every week. I feel like every week, every game we talk about this is a massive game for Spurs. Spurs have to perform, and it's no different today. Brentford, Thomas Frank's old club, come into the lane where our form has been pretty shocking, hasn't it, this season? Well, let's be honest, over the last couple of seasons, our form has been pretty shocking at the lane. It needs to improve. Today would be the ideal opportunity for it to improve. I think we all need to get on board. We all need to get on board with this. Frank needs to do more at home, needs to be more attacking. No doubt about that. We cannot set up not to lose. We have to set up to win the game. The players have to perform on the pitch. You know, they're paid a lot of money. And people who are in high power jobs that are paid a lot of money to perform. The players need to perform. And the fans need to do their bit as well. We cannot be, as a fan base, turning on the players as soon as we concede a goal or as soon as something doesn't go our way in the game. We have to try and get behind the team. The team have to give us something on the pitch to get behind, and the manager has to be less negative and more attacking on the pitch as well. So all three have to happen. Let's hope they do today. Brentford's going to be a really tough game. There's no doubt about that. Um, but I don't get all this Frank out thing. I really don't. I have to say before we start properly, I don't get all the Frank out and we need to change your manager. I don't understand it. We all knew going into this season that it was a season of not transition, but as a new manager. We have a new manager, a new way of playing, new backroom staff, new coaches, new everything was new. You know, even upwards, no Levy, Vinay coming in, everything had changed. Charrington, just everything that's changed at the club. This isn't an overnight fix. This isn't something that was going to happen. We're going to flick our fingers and suddenly Spurs are going to be great again. We have to take some pain to hopefully get some gain. Now, is Frank the manager we're going to take pain for to get the gain? I'm not sure. But at some point, we have to back a manager. Frank's the man in charge currently. He definitely needs to give us something more at home. Like I've said many times, I haven't got a problem. Our away form is fantastic. Take Arsenal apart. That game was terrible. And it's probably the one game you don't want to play badly in. But take that game apart. Away from home, we've been fantastic this season. Picking up wins. We're not losing. We've been pretty attacking, I think. We're scoring lots of goals away from home. But home, for whatever reason, our form is so bad. And I think now it's in their heads. I've got to be honest. I think it's in their heads. I think it's in the heads of the players. I think as soon as something doesn't go well, their heads drop. I think it's in the heads of the fans. You can feel the tension, even watching it on the TV. You can feel the tension. You can feel that if something goes wrong, the Spurs fans are going to turn straight away. And you can feel it in the manager because he's just not attacking enough at home. So let's hope it changes there. A nice 5-0 win would be lovely, wouldn't it? It's probably not going to happen. Brentford are a good side, but they're not so good away from home. So we will look at the form guide in a moment. I'm sorry, my voice is shocking. I've not long been up, and yeah, thought I'd do one Saturday morning, and slept till like nearly 8:15. So that was fantastic. Let's see who's in the chat. on this fine Saturday morning. Barbaric Disdain is in. Big up, Barbaric. Says, good morning, Nige. Praying for a home win today. Smash the likes and subs, people. Let's help push this channel out there. Big up, my Barbaric. I hope you're well, mate. I'm praying for a win as well. I really am. We've got to win, haven't we? The pressure's just going to mount if we don't. I don't know. I don't know. It's going to be a tough one. Marcus is in. Saying, morning, Nige. Good morning, Marcus. I hope you're well, buddy. I hope you are well. And Ghosted, big up, Nige. Big up, Ghosted. I hope you're well. The Hotspur Hood's in. Big up, Danny. I hope you're well, mate. We lose this. Frank's in big trouble, in my opinion. I mean, it's all about the home form, isn't it? I think if we can turn this home form around, I think we'll be fine. Because, like I've said, away from home, we're half decent. There's a massive problem at home, mate. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Like I said, I think it's a bit of everything. I think the fans are nervous and ready to turn. I think the players are as well, and the manager's just scared. I think now scared of losing games at home, and it's just we just need to sort it out. Like I said, big win today would be fantastic. Whether Frank's in trouble if we lose, I'm not sure. Listen, the pressure will mount. There's no doubt about that. The media will have a field day. You know, the media loves a Spurs defeat, and especially at home. So let's see what happens. I do fear there's going to be a massive backlash if we do lose. Whether Frank's in trouble, I'm not sure. Just simply because, listen, for me, the club have paid a lot of money to get rid of Ange and get Frank in. So listen, a lot of money to us is probably not a lot to clubs like Spurs. So they probably, if it needs to happen, it will happen. But I don't know. I think it might take a few more defeats yet, but we will see. Barbaric saying this Frank Ant nonsense is ridiculous this year. This is years of neglect in the transfer windows. People can't pin this on one manager who only just walked in the door. I'm with you there, mate. I really am. I'm with you. Listen, the football has got to improve because it is boring to watch at times. It is turgid. But I find it turgid under the last manager as well. I felt like we were boring last year for large periods of the season. I don't necessarily think this is a manager thing. I just don't think we've got a good team. Really, I don't think we've got a good enough team. But yeah, we certainly should be getting more out of the players we've got at home against some of these teams. I'm not going to go out and say, "Oh, we should be beaten," but you would expect Spurs to beat the likes of Wolves, the likes of Bournemouth, the likes of Fulham at home. And the fact that we're not, and the fact that we're playing poorly at the same time, is a big issue. Is a big issue. Like I've said all season, you can get away with it if we're winning games. You know, nobody really cares if we're playing crap football if we're winning games. As soon as we start losing, then that's when the problems start. Tan, big up, mate. He says, morning, Nigel. Hope you're doing well this morning. Game day, and yes, everything has changed. But the thing that hasn't is the players. This group of players have forgotten how to win in the league. Yeah, I think forgotten how to win at home in the league. I think that's it. I think for me, that's the only problem. Like I've said all season, it's the only problem. They've forgotten how to win in the league at home. They're winning. They're winning the Champions League at home. They're winning the Premier League away. It's just getting those wins at home for whatever reason. I think something's happened, and yeah, we will see what happens going forward. We desperately need a victory today, though. And then he says, it's confidence and belief. They don't have any. How do you fix that? Um, it's the same old story, is it? By winning games. That's how you fix it. I think Spurs need an early goal. I heard this is one thing that's annoyed me all season in our home games. I've heard Frank come out and say, we're going to fly out of the blocks. We're going to get in their faces. We're going to attack. We never do. We always start sluggish, slow. And Pochettino always said it when he was in charge. He always knew how the team was going to play within the first couple of minutes of the game. And you can see it with Spurs. You know, if Romero picks up the ball, if he's just got his foot on it, if he's slowing things down, if it's all lethargic, you know straight away, oh, this isn't going to be a good day for Spurs. Spurs need to come flying out of the blocks. They need to attack hard. And for me, that's the way we win the game. But and get the confidence back as well. It's all about starting quickly, getting an early goal, early tackle, Pellina, smashing a player early, couple of minutes in the midfield, get the fans up. For me, that's how you do it. We cannot start slowly again like we have been all season. Ghost is saying, I don't understand how we've got such home form in Europe, but not in the league. It has to be a mentality issue. Yeah, I agree, mate. I think it is. I think it is a mentality issue. And it's also got to be a fair issue. And this was my concern last season, whether we chuck the league or not. Those home defeats week after week after week after week, it's gonna get in there, isn't it? And after a while, this place that you love coming to because it's your home ground, suddenly you're turning up thinking, "Hmm, well, we lost a lot last season. We weren't very good here last year." And suddenly it gets in their heads. And I definitely think it's a continuation of last season. Marcus said, massive fingers crossed today. Morning, everyone. Yeah. Um, listen, I'm actually quite calm. I think we're gonna be okay today. I think we will win the game. Results in a minute, and they've all been quite tight games. So I don't expect Spurs to fly out of the blocks and smash four and win comfortably. I also don't expect Brentford to come flying out of the blocks and win comfortably either. I think it's going to be a tight game. There's going to be one goal in it. Hopefully it goes to Spurs. Stiggers in said, Morning, Nige. Need to build on that decent point in midweek. Absolutely agree. I agree with you, mate. But this is the problem with Spurs, isn't it? And this has been the problem for many years. We get a good result. We think, here we go, turning point. And the next game, we're shit again. So it is massively important to build on that point. It wasn't a great performance, was it, against Newcastle? But it was a battling performance. And we got the result. We got a point, which is, more than you can ask for at the moment with our current form. Guys, what do you think? What do you think with the game today? Would you take a battling home performance where we battle, the football's turgid, but we come away with a 2-1 win and there's fight there? Or do you want to see, is it all about playing nice football, making lots of chances, exciting the fans and winning the game? Would you take a really exciting game where Spurs play brilliant football, we create 15 or 16 chances and we draw 1-1? Or would you take a really turgid game where Spurs are awful, score a couple from a set piece and win the game 2-1? It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because yes, of course, automatically you say the victory, but then fans are still going to moan. Fans are still going to moan that the football's crap and we're only scoring from set pieces or um, from deflections or own goals or whatever. For me, it's all about winning at the moment. We haven't got the team now, so just win the game by hook or by crook. If the football's crap, I don't care. Just win the game. 3 points are a must today because as we're looking at the league table in a minute, a defeat and we could be dropping right down this table, which is a real concern. Ghost is saying, we say the football's boring to watch, but what do we expect when Frank was hired? Enoch hired a pragmatic coach. Why are people acting like we hired an attacking manager? Yeah, I mean, this is a really difficult one, isn't it? Because he was at a club like Brentford that wasn't really expected. It was all about staying in the league. In the Championship, Brentford played really attacking football, played good football. They've come up to the Premier League. They've had to just stay up for the first couple of years, and year on year after that, they have been playing better football. They have been playing more attacking football, and they scored a lot of goals last season. Conceded quite a few as well, by the way. So I don't think they're quite as pragmatic as maybe what we envisage they are. He's not. Listen, he's not your gung ho swashbuckling attacking manager. He is a bit more negative in that sense. But I think he's be good. He'd be good for Tottenham, given the chance. But it's all about giving him the chance. Whether he gets that or not, we will see going forward. It's going to be a massive couple of weeks for him. Rodney Martin's saying, big up. It all takes time. Absolutely. That's what I agree. It all takes time. Guys, do me a favor, please smash a like on the way in. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel as well. Let's look at the league table. And I got it from fourth place because, let's be honest, we're not going to finish in the top three. So, and there you are, Spurs back in. Let's take Rodney's comment off a minute so we can see the table. So, yes, we got Spurs down in 11th, 19 points, Newcastle 19 points, Brentford 19 points, and Bournemouth 19 points, Fulham 17 points. Massive game today because if we lose, Brentford automatically go above us, so we move into 12th. If Newcastle pick up a point, they move above us, we could be 13th. Same with Bournemouth. I'm not sure if Bournemouth and Newcastle play each other. I don't think they do. Effectively, we could be back down into 14th, maybe even 50th, probably 14th position by the end of the evening if we lose today. So it is a massive, massive game for Spurs. We cannot afford to lose this game. We win, and we might go up a couple of places. We might get into that top 10. I am starting to fear that if you look at ninth upwards, maybe, a few more of those teams win, and suddenly that 3-point gap could become 4-point gap, 5-point gap. And then we're looking further and further off the top half, and we could be pulled into the bottom half a lot more. So for me, this game is huge today. Absolutely huge. We cannot afford to lose it. We have to win this game. As much as you will ever say, a game's a big game. Today, for me, it is because if you look at that top half, a defeat, and we could be further away from it. We're already 3 points off it, really. And if we lose, we really will be dragged into that bottom half. And then we've got a battle on. But let's see. Ghost is saying if people wanted attacking football, they should be calling out the owners for hiring Frank in the first place. This is a concern, isn't it? Is that we keep on going from one manager to another manager to another manager, all play different styles of football. I thought when Ange was brought in, I thought the board come out and said, this is the brand of football that we want to play. This is the Tottenham Hotspur way. We are going to always have attacking, front-footed managers coming to the club. And this is what we're going to do. This is the path forward. But Ange has then been sacked. And I'm not saying, listen, I don't think Frank is particularly defensive. He's not a negative manager, but he is more pragmatic than your standard attacking manager. So I don't know. It's going to be a difficult one. We will see. Binny Guy's in saying BBC already. Not quite sure what that means, but big up, Binny Guy. I hope you're well, mate. Marcus saying fans pay a lot of money to watch a proper game. Spurs definitely don't do that now. Yeah, all I would say is I'm gonna try to back this manager until I can't back him anymore. Listen, I was the same with Ange. I backed him until I couldn't back him anymore. There came a point where I'm like, okay, I can't do this anymore. My point under Ange was the Brighton defeat away from home last season when we were 2-0 up at half time, went on to lose 3-2. And Ange did nothing to change it in the second half. That was when it was it for me. But before then, I was very much Ange in. Let's keep him. Let's back him. I'm going to give Frank the same energy. We're only 14 games into the Premier League season. Am I happy with the football? No. Am I happy with the results? Yeah, I am. Away from home, I think they've been fantastic. At home, no, shocking. Something's got to change at home. But at the moment, I'm going to keep backing Frank. Just because I don't think there's anyone else out there currently that could do a better job with the squad we have. That's my opinion. I'm not sure, guys. Who would you have in charge? I'm hearing so many people say Glasner. I think Glasner's a great manager, but again, it's hardly attacking. He's a pragmatic, counter-attacking manager. Listen, he was my first choice, but depends what we want, doesn't it? I just think football's changed so much over the years, and it's all about strength, fitness, physique, stats. It's not about the beautiful game anymore. Where I remember a player that we signed from Nottingham Forest back in the early 2000s, along with Michael Dawson. You guys remember him. Andy Reid had an absolute wonder of a left foot. Didn't play that much for Spurs because in the end of the day, he wasn't quite good enough for Tottenham. Even back then, he wasn't quite good enough for Spurs. But when he played for Forest, he was a beautiful player to watch. Like I say, great left foot. He come to Spurs, didn't quite do it, but you know what? He was a bit round. He was a bit portly and quite short, stocky, bit fat, but really good player. Great left foot. And but you don't see those type of players anymore. You don't see those type of players. Everybody has got a 26 pack and can run all day and is all about, yeah, just a different mentality of football. Not so much about skill anymore. The Mavericks have gone out of the game. I'm not calling Andy Reid a Maverick, by the way. That would be crazy. Golden Sun's in. Say, I think we will rise up the table if Mawani stays fit and Kudus makes his crosses early. Yeah, I think this is vital. I like Kudus. Kudus is a good player, but he has been doing too much recently. He does kind of overdo it at times. He needs to get that ball, and whether he goes on the outside and gets it in with his right, cuts in and crosses it in with his left, he needs to do that earlier. Um, and I think Moani's a top striker. I really do. I think he's a top player. He's better than what we have, better than Solanke. I mean, what's happened to Solanke, right? I thought he was supposed to be back after the international break, and Frank is still saying, "Well, we'll let you know if anything changes." Something really weird there with Solanke, but he's better than Solanke, better than Richarlison. So it's going to be interesting. We need to get those balls. We need to start feeding Mawani. Mawani's feeding off scraps at the moment for Spurs. Feel a bit sorry for him. He must be getting really frustrated. Billy saying, big up, Ghosted. That's compounded with pragmatic technical director. That's most Spurs fans clamoured for. Yeah, I mean, listen, yeah, maybe, maybe. I mean, I guess you could call Frank pragmatic. I guess you could. He is more defensive than the manager we had before. Um, but I think that's what we needed, isn't it? We needed someone who's going to sort the defense out and sort. Listen, I don't say the defense is anywhere near sorted. We're so far off it still is unreal. But I don't know. I don't know what we expected as a fan base. Big up Philly, by the way. I don't know what we expected as a fan base because it was always going to be a really difficult season this year. Coming off the back of a trophy, which is great. Coming off the back of finishing 17th. And I know people don't like going, oh, what are we going back to the powers? Last season's last season. We chucked the league. I don't buy any of it. I've said it all the time. I don't buy any of it that we chucked the league. I don't think we did. Professionals don't just give up. They still fight. And I don't think if you go back and look at the teams that we played and the players that we played in those teams, I don't think we played weakened sides until the very end of the season. Until the very end of the season, but you still expect Spurs to go out and perform. Anyway, it is what it is. Sometimes saying, "Bring back Levy here, fix it." They were playing better when the home fans were chanting. This is it, isn't it? Nobody's got Levy's not there. So the fans have got nowhere to vent their frustration but onto the manager and the players. And I think that's a really good point, actually. I know it's a bit of a joke, but it is a good point that these fans, a lot of these fans who were leaving out had something to go for, something to shout at. If something's going wrong on the pitch, it's Levy's fault. Now he's gone. It's like, fuck. Who do we blame? I know. Let's blame the players. Let's blame the manager until the next manager comes in. And then it'll be his fault. Or the next player comes in. Then it'll be his fault. I think we all have to calm ourselves a little bit. A little bit. I know the football's crap. I know that we're not playing great, but let's just wait. Let's just wait. Vinny Guy says, ironic, isn't it? The only weapon Frank can save his job to play Angeball. How ironic. What exactly? Exactly. I don't know. It's gonna be I'm frustrated at the moment with fan base, with everything Spurs. I'm very calm in the fact that this is kind of what I expected. I'd hoped for a little bit better, but it is what it is. We are picking up results. They're just away from home, and I think that's a frustrating thing, isn't it? If we flipped our results and our away form was our home form and our home form was our away form, I don't think we'd be as concerned. I don't think we'd be as concerned, but it's because we're playing so badly at home. Wayne's in the house. Big up, Wayne. Said, good morning, all. Hope that whoever starts as a striker puts the ball in the net. Agreed, mate. Absolutely agreed. But he has to get chances, right? He has to be fed those chances. And if he doesn't, then we're not going to score goals. So hopefully we get some chances today. We cannot be going into halftime with a 0.01 XG, whatever fucking XG means, and no shots on target. We cannot do that. You might get away with it away from home. Cannot do that at home. We have to be more attacking. This is the one thing I will put on Frank. We have to be more attacking at home. 100%. Bob's in the house. Says, morning, Nige. Good morning, Bob. I hope you're well. Benny guy saying, I find it so amusing. Ha ha. I mean, if you don't laugh, you cry, right? I think we're at that point as Spurs fans where I think we've been in the mire for, you know, quite a while. By hook or by crook, we got that trophy last season, which kind of took a lot of pressure off the fans, took a lot of pressure off the club. Imagine if we'd lost that final. What a shocking season that would have been. And I just think the last 3 or 4 seasons have been just poor. Just poor, really. The odd good result, the odd, finishing fifth once, maybe finishing fourth under Conte. But apart from that, we've been so up and down. And we're nowhere near it at the moment. I think we have to accept that as a fan base. Goes to saying you can play beautiful football every week, but if the manager doesn't get results, he gets a sack. It's a results business. Agreed, 100%. And I think this is why, for me, we have to get off the back of, oh, the football's crap. We're rubbish. We want to play the Spurs way. For me, forget that. Let's just get results, especially at home. Get that confidence back, and I'm sure then the football will start coming. And Frank hasn't got his team yet, has he? Frank hasn't got his team. Let's see what we can do in January. Let's see what we do in the summer. Let's see if the board back this manager like they say they're going to, with the money that they say they're going to spend. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in January for sure. Marcus saying we actually need to have shots on target and or a shot, especially in the first half. Agreed. What I just said, mate. Absolutely agreed. We need to start shooting. I am so fed up with the passing at the back and going one way, coming back, going back, one way, back. And it's just like, let's just attack. Let's just attack. Spurs fans are a lot more forgiving if we go ding dong, head to toe with Brentford today, and it's end to end, as long as we're not totally open like we were under Ange. But we really go for it. We really attack. We're getting shots off. We're putting balls in the box. We're really putting them under pressure. And if we were to draw the game 2-2, but we played like that, fans would be a lot more forgiving than if we turn up, we hardly have a shot on goal. We don't attack. We're just not very exciting to watch, and we draw 1-1. I think, there's a difference, isn't there? I think the Spurs fans, any fan, want to see their side put effort in and attack. And I think that's what Spurs need to do at home. So I don't think there's been enough of either. I think it's happened away from home, but not at home for me. Billy saying, couldn't care less how Spurs play right now, as any manager will have to do the inevitable and get rid of players. And I think this is it. So what players do we get rid of? What players do we get rid of in the team? Um, there's a lot of players we need to sell for me. We have done what we always do. We spent a couple of years getting rid of a load of deadwood, and then we've just replaced it with more deadwood. And that's always going to be the case. You're always going to bring players in that don't work. But for me, Richarlison 100% needs to go. Solanke 100% needs to go. Um, Johnson 100% needs to go. I would be selling Bentancur. I would be selling Basuma. I would let either one of. I'd probably let Gray go. I'll keep Bergvall. Or maybe I wouldn't let Gray go. Davis needs to go. The likes of. Should I say it? For me, I'd sell Porro. He's not my man. I just don't rate him. Um, and I'd sell Vicario, and I'd just start again, rip it up, start again, and let's see what we can do. But that's just listen, that's just me. I've got a bee in my bonnet with Porro at the moment. He's just not my man, and, I'd much rather see Spence there personally. I know he can put a good ball in every now and again, but, for what he did the other day, listen, I haven't been a fan of him for a long time, but for what he did the other day, um, not clapping the Spurs fans, I know you're frustrated, but just do your job, mate. You paid a lot of money, and, just clap it, even if you don't mean it, clap 'em. So for me, that was a big no-no. Big no-no for me. Golden Sun saying 3 points are all that matter. Style comes with time and money. Agreed. Agreed, mate, 100%. Ghost is saying Ange lost 33 Premier League games in 2 seasons. Ange lost 34 in 2 seasons. We know what we hired. That is an interesting stat there. Never knew that, Ghost did. That is wow, yeah, that's, I mean, it's not taken me by surprise in the fact that Brentford, you kind of expect them to lose quite a few games, but yeah, it kinda it opens your eyes a little bit, doesn't it? I think I do think if Frank was to leave, if Frank was to get sacked, whenever that is, I think the next manager we get in, we cannot be hiring managers that we need to hire a project manager, of course, because we need to build. We cannot be sacking managers every 6 months, every year, every 18 months. But the next manager for me that we bring in has to be of credence, has to be a stature. We need a big name manager, someone, and I'm not saying Xavi, but someone like a Xavi, someone who's been a great player somewhere and is also a top manager. Someone just I don't know, someone that really fans can get behind. I think with Frank, as much as I like him and as much as I'm still backing him, by the way, I think, a lot of fans, and me included, we're Tottenham Hotspur. What are we hiring a manager from Brentford when we hired Potts? What are we hiring a manager from Southampton for? I don't know. It's a difficult one 'cause it doesn't always work. We hired Mourinho, didn't work. We hired Conte, didn't work for whatever reason. I just think Spurs are Spurs, aren't they? Billy said 14th is about right for Spurs for this Spurs squad. Yeah, maybe. I think we're better than that, mate. I think we're better. I think we're top 10 side. Wouldn't go a lot further than that, but I think we're top 10 side. But let's see what happens. I do think defeat today though really puts us into that bottom half. Um, it's scary. It's scary. Sheriff's in the house. Big up, mate. I hope you're well. Says morning, Nige. Big up, mate. Big up to you, Sheriff. I hope you're well, buddy. Hopefully you're still up for meeting next weekend and having a beer. That'd be good. Benny Guy says Spurs always sabotage own success. Jesus Christ. We can never You're right, mate. We can never quite move on, can we? Every time we get to a point where we think, okay, we're there, let's now build on that. We never do. We always go backwards. It is that saying, one step forward, two steps back with Spurs. Always seems to be the way. Ghost is saying, facts, Nige. They did, mate. Yeah, yeah. Philly saying the Spurs board say a lot of things, such as the stadium wouldn't impact Spurs spending. We all know how that worked out. Seeing is believing with this hierarchy. And it's hard to disagree with you, mate. It is hard to disagree with you. This is what we've seen, isn't it, over the last however many years, 25 years or whatever. We have seen it all the time. But all I would say is now Levy's gone. And listen, I'm only going to give it January in the summer. And if things don't change, then things don't change. Then we know, don't we? But, the Lewis kids have come out and said they are going to spend big. They are going to spend money. They are going to make Spurs great again. So let's see. If it doesn't happen, then we know. Um, I'm of the thought that I'm clinging to hope. It's like when you're with the woman or the man that you love, and they treat you like crap all the time, don't they? Every weekend, let's go out and do something, and you never do. They just treat you like crap, and then they just give you that nugget, don't they? They give you that nugget. Oh, this is gonna be amazing. You just cling on to that, And then, as usual, that doesn't happen. Let's see what happens with that. Was a really crap analogy, just terrible. My analogies are the worst on YouTube, without a doubt. Benny Guy saying 100%. The sheriff said he's magic, you know. Would we take Poch back? I love Pochettino, but I wouldn't want his legacy to be tarnished. And I know people say legacy, he didn't win anything, but he did build the best Spurs side for me in the last 25 years. So, don't know. I would love him back, but and what did everyone say? What did you say, Sheriff? I don't want Pochettino back while Levy's here. Well, Levy is gone. So maybe I can't see him coming back next season though because of the World Cup. Um, let's see what happens. Ghost is saying if we sack Frank, get Xavi in, give him what he wants. I mean, that would be what I'd be tempted to do. Or a manager of that ilk. You know, get a big name manager and just give him what he wants and get behind him. Ghost has said no point getting a good attacking manager without giving him tools he needs. Exactly, exactly. And this is where I'm still of that. You know, I'm still backing Frank because I don't think he's got the quality um, in the team yet. I don't think he's got the players he wants. And is that rocking a hard place, isn't it? Do you give him the players that he wants, or do you say, actually, no, this isn't the football for us. We're going to let you go and bring someone else in. I think everything's going to unravel. I think with it by Christmas. I think now December is going to be a big month for Spurs. Let's see how we do. We've got some big games coming up starting today, but we have to win. You know, as far as games go for me, this is massive. We have to win. We cannot be affording to drop points, or we are going to get sucked into possibly a bit of a relegation battle. Who knows? Philly saying, big up Cookmeister, just saw the interview. He still has unfinished business and is pining to come back. He is, but I think it all depends, isn't it? How long the USA last in the World Cup. We will see. Danny saying too robotic now. I agree. Football is far too robotic. It's just not fun to watch. Not the same as what it used to be. I mean, I've cancelled my Sky. I don't even watch the football now. I watch Spurs on my phone on a dodgy stream. Didn't say that. Um, Otherwise, I don't watch it and I don't miss it. I don't miss like it used to be a time when it's like, oh my god, Man City Liverpool at the weekend. I've got to watch that. You know, even Villa Brentford, I'd be like loving it. 2 o'clock game, 4:30 game, 8 o'clock game if there was one on at 8 o'clock. Just all day football. Now I can take it or leave it. Just doesn't bother me. And Sheriff saying Philly, it's the other one. It is the Sheriff. Ghost is saying Solanke has been here 2 years and has mostly been injured. Get rid. I agree. Another player who was never injured before he come to Spurs. Comes to Spurs and he's injured all the time. And it's weird, isn't it? Because Tottenham have changed their whole medical team, but we're still getting players injured. And when they're injured, they're injured. And look at Takai come in. What a waste of money he's been. How much do we spend on him? 5 million. Someone who's come in and hasn't played a minute for Tottenham so far. I don't even think he's even been in a squad yet. So it's just crazy. Some of the signings we make, some of the injuries we get, I just do not understand. Golden Sun saying Xavi will turn Richie into the new Lineker and Odegaard into the new Sun. World beating front foot football with Richie and Odegaard game coming. Listen, hey, get off Odegaard's back. I like Odegaard. But Richie, yeah, I don't think anyone could make him world beaten. But we will see. Let's see what happens. Suit measured, big up, mate. He said, agree on Solanke. We got him. I just said to myself, here be on the table. You know what? Solanke was one of those, wasn't it? We signed him right at the end of the window last year, or just before the season started. And it was just before the season started, wasn't it? Because he played against Leicester. He's only been in a couple of days. Not last season, season before. That's how long we've had him, and he's hardly played. And yeah, it was a signing that just a typical Spurs signing. We wanted someone else all summer, other players, top players. We end up getting Solanke, and he's just been injured the entire time. And for me, isn't good enough. But It is what it is. Philly said how many fans were begging for Paratici to return to Spurs. He's a pragmatic technical director. Well, let's see again, Philly. Let's see what he does. He's just come back. He hasn't had a window yet. Um, and for me, as much I think any technical director, right? Any player, any technical director that brings players in, some are going to hit, some are going to miss. And I think that's been the case with Paratici as well. But let's see what he does. I may agree with you by the summer, Philly, but I'm not going to agree with you yet, just because just don't think he's had a window yet. Let's see what he does. Um, Stig said, Nige, do you think, like me, that Frank needs to unleash Simmons today and let him just get on and play from the start out? 100%. We spent 50 million on this guy. Let's play him. Especially at home. I understand sometimes maybe not playing him away from home. If we're playing a side where we need legs in the pitch, then play a Saar, play a Bergval, play someone else in that number 10 role, or don't even play with a number 10. But when we're at home, absolutely play your exciting players. If we were to start the game today with for me, and listen, I do like Odegaard, but he's not your answer to your left hand side. But if we started with an Odegaard, a Mawani, a Kudus, and then a Xavi in that 10, for me that's a lot more exciting than seeing a Kudus, a Mawani, a I don't know, a Johnson, and a Sarr as a 10 in at home against Brentford. He has to start. He has to start today, but I don't think he will. Looking at his pre-match press conference, he was saying that Simmons is struggling to adapt. We've got to give him time. I don't think he starts today, but I 100% would start him. I agree, mate. Um, Guys, if you haven't, smash that like button. It is so important. 37 of you in here on a Saturday morning. Really important that you smash that like button. Try to get me up to 50 as quickly as possible. It pushes me out to more people. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel as well. It's slow going at the moment. Trying to get to around 1,300 by Christmas. That would be my ideal Christmas present. There you go. You don't even have to spend money on me. Just sub to the channel. That would be fantastic. Benny Guy saying many you lots kicked out Poch, Jose, Nuno, Conte, Ange, Levy, even Son last season. What the heck do you want? And I think this is it. It's a fan base, isn't it? What do we want? Um, I mean, I didn't kick out Poch. I never wanted Poch to leave. Nuno, yes, and I regret that now. I regret that because I like Nuno. I think he's been treated terribly by different clubs, including Spurs. And but yeah, I don't think I kicked anyone. I didn't kick anyone else. Oh, Ange, okay, yeah, you got me on Ange and Levy. But three of those six, yes. The other three, no. But I think this is it. It's a fan base, right? Half of those people, yes, I wanted out. The other half, I didn't. And as fans, we just want different things, and that's okay. But we have got to decide as a fan base, what do we want? Do we want beautiful football that Tottenham have apparently always played that they haven't? Um, or do we want winning football? For me, I want winning football. It's all about winning games. It's all about trophies. It's all about results, isn't it? I mean, look at last season, for example. We won the Europa League. That Europa League final was one of the worst games of football I've seen in many, many years. But many of my friends who are fans of different clubs then, they just didn't watch it. They started watching it. It was boring. They turned it off. They were doing other things when it was on. You don't get that for final. It was a terrible final. And Spurs were a good reason for that because they're a terrible team. And but it doesn't matter, right? Doesn't matter because we won the game and it was a brilliant night and it was a beautiful moment. And we look back on that. And when we look back on that final win, do any of us watch the game again? No. We watch that last 10 seconds when the whistles are going, when Vicario grabs the ball to take that goal kick, when you got Madison on the sideline and all the players like that, and Madison in tears as the final was, that's all we watch. We don't watch the game. We watch the last 10 seconds when we won the thing. So for me, it is all about winning. Forget the football. The football's, yeah, sure, you pay your money, you want to see good football. But what you want more than anything is winning football. Remember, I went to the game last season against Leicester at home. Awful game. Spurs were awful. We lost 2-1. But if we'd been awful and won, I'd been happy. It is all about results. Golden Suns and the front line should be creating for itself as well. We can't blame it all on the midfield for not creating for them. Yeah, quite possibly. Yeah, I think we've got a bit of responsibility in the fact we have got to create more from midfield. The problem is for me, Golden Sun, is that we've only really got one creative player on the side because Xavi's not playing, and that's Kudus. So everything goes to Kudus. Teams know what we're going to do. They double up on him. He can't really beat his man. He can't get balls in the box. He gets frustrated. He tries to do too much, and we end up losing it anyway. We need other avenues of attacking, and for me, that's why I play Odeberg, because I think he's shown promise over the last 3 or 4 weeks when he's come on. Um, and I think we need to start Xavi. Xavi needs to start now every week at home. We need to build a side of that. We need to give this guy confidence. Say, you're our man. You're the main man. Create for us. Make things happen. And it's not going to happen every time. Ericsson didn't always have a good game. Sometimes he had a bad game. Sometimes his passes didn't work. And same with Madison. I just think we've got to give this guy his legs and say, there you go. You are the man. Do the business. Whether we will or not is another question. Binny guy saying, who wants to come join us? Jesus. It's one of them, isn't it? I think money will hopefully talk, but Spurs haven't ever really paid the wages. Hopefully we will start now. But yeah, Binny guy, we're never gonna get that top player. Um, we've got to go for the player below now. Like this summer, Morgan Gibbs White. He'd be a great signing for Spurs, in my opinion. I really like him. Energetic midfielder. In fact, I would go to Forest and I'd be going Morgan Gibbs White. I'd be getting Elliot Anderson. I'd be picking off a couple of their players. They can have Brendan Johnson back and just make things happen. There's plenty of good players out there. Semenyo would be a dream signing. Whether we get him or not is another question. But so many good players out there that Spurs could get, but they have to move quickly. We cannot be, and they're going to have to pay the money, and they're going to have to pay the wages, because let's be honest, other sides will be interested in those players too, and they have a bit more clout than Tottenham. Let's see what happens. Ghost is saying, Binny guy, not me. I was pissed when we never backed that, and then when he finally got a little back in, he got the sack for Mourinho. ENIC out. Yeah, I agree. I was well behind Pochettino. He should. He was saying it for ages, wouldn't he? We've got the nice house. We need the furniture, and we never got the furniture. And the furniture we did get, yeah, we thought it was from John Lewis. In the end, yeah, it was definitely not. It was more B&M than John Lewis. Philly saying the level of players Spurs sign aren't just lacking in ability, but mentality. Not one player is proactive on the ball, and a dominating midfield are all reactive, which is why they are better away. Um, yeah, quite possibly. It's hard to disagree with that, mate. I would say Polinia is got the mentality, 100%. I think he's the one player that we brought in the summer who has got that mentality. Um, but the rest I'm not sure about. The rest I'm not sure. And we've seen it, haven't we? Haven't we seen it? I'm not talking about the players that we signed in the summer, but the rest of these players that were here, they're all here last season. Haven't got the mentality. And yes, we did get over the line in a final, which was fantastic. But I just think, like I've been saying all season, like I've been saying on this stream already, our home form is the only issue. If our home form wasn't as bad as it is, most fans would be content with the way things are. Um, it's just the fact that we have been so poor at home. But hopefully that changes today. Golden Sunset and tactics and overloads go at the Swanee when you have a player who can't take on players. Yep, agreed. And for me, this is why, obviously we need to massively improve that left-hand side in January. But this is why, for me, we can't play players like Johnson and Richie out there because they're not players that take on players. So for me, they can't play. Don't play them. For me, Richie doesn't play anymore. We've got Mawani. Mawani's our striker. We start him every single game we can. We start. I mean, yes, we can bring him off and bring Richarlison on, I guess. But for me, we need to give these players time now and just play them. Another thing that I would say, just a little bit frustrated with Frank, is that he changes too much every game. I think just try and keep your core players. And I know it's difficult because you've got to manage them, but just try and start with your best team, get the game won, and then you can bring these players off. It's a difficult one, I guess, to manage. I'm not a Premier League manager, so I don't know. It's easy to say sat here watching the game, I guess. Shamtan says Frank has everybody else's players. We still have players from Poch's time. Recruitment has been terrible. Buy players to play in their preferred position, not to play anywhere he can fit. I agree with this, and I know you're going to finish off here. And not a player that might come good in a few years. You know what? I agree. I agree with this. And this is what we've been doing for years and years and years. And not necessarily buying a player that might come good in a few years, though we have done that over the last couple of seasons. But instead of buying players that prime for that position, right? We are buying a striker because he is a goal scorer, or we're buying a midfielder because he's a top holder midfielder. We sign players that he's a good midfielder, but he can also play right back. Or he's a good striker, but he can play off the left or the right or in a 10 if need. Just get players for the one position. Get players for the one position, you know, um, and stop buying players that can play in multiple positions for me. That's what I would do. But, let's see what happens. Binny Guy saying, big up Philly. When I watch Frank press before the match, he has no clue how to assemble attacking football. He kept talking rubbish, backed the wrong horse, and everybody waking up from the media propaganda. Whoa, Binny. So you are Frank out, yeah? Is that where you are with it? Listen, that's absolutely fine. Every fan has every right to be whatever they are. I'm not quite at Frank out stage yet. I think we need to back him. I'm gonna give him till the new year, January the 1st. If we're still struggling and down in 14th, 15th, listen, I will probably change my mind then. But right now, I think a couple of wins. I just what? I'm just so fed up of replacing managers every 6 months, every year, and starting again. And I don't know who else to bring in at the moment. So I'm prepared to give him a bit more time. But let's see, guys. Guys, let me know in the chat. Are you Frank in? Are you Frank out? There is no wrong answer. In fact, I put a poll up. Are you still happy with Frank? Do you want him in? Do you want him out? Put a vote in and we see what it is at the end. Shamtam says, oh, I've already read that. Phil saying, big up Binny Guy. Firstly, Son was aging and could no longer do it in the Premiership. So Spurs should have locked him up until he was 90 and able to move. What would that make? Oh, yeah, I know. And this is the thing, mate, isn't it? Sonny had to go. Sonny had to go. The problem is we didn't replace him, right? Problem isn't Sonny leaving because Sonny had to leave. The problem is we didn't replace him with suitable quality. Um, but this is what Spurs do, right? But of course, the news has come out over the last couple of days that Sonny is going to be back Tuesday night to say goodbye to the fans properly. That'd be good, wouldn't it? If we lose today and the fans are absolutely wretched. Yeah, it could be. The fans will obviously give Sonny a good turnout and a good send off. But what's the support going to be like on Tuesday evening in the Champions League against arguably the weakest opponents in Slavia Prague? Um, I don't know. Are we going to get 45,000 now? Wouldn't it have just been better to do it at home against Brentford today when you're probably going to get a full house? Yeah, weird one for me, but it'd be good to see Sonny back just to say goodbye. I'd imagine there'd be tears, but let's see what happens. Ghosted saying Kinski, Porro, Dragish, Davis, Basuma, Bentancur, Tell, Johnson, Solanke, Ritchie. I'm guessing that's not your team today. That's the players you'd get rid of. I'd agree with every single one of them. Dragishin, not seen him obviously under Frank. Another one that's Seems to have been coming back for ages, but it's not back yet. It'd be interesting to see whether he's in the squad today, because he has played a couple of behind closed doors games, hasn't he? So let's see what happens there. Be interesting to see how he does against in the Frank system, but I wouldn't be against selling him either. But I agree. I'm glad you're on the Porro train. Yeah, for me, get rid. Golden Sun sends easier send who I'd keep. Mawani, Kudus, Van der Ven, the rest can go. I'm not bothered. Wow. Yeah, I mean Mawani isn't even ours, right? We haven't even got a buy-in or clause. You know, is there a clause that we have to buy him, or is there a clause that we can buy him? I don't know. As far as I'm aware, Mawani is just a loan going back. Um, but yeah, I'd agree. Kudus, Van der Ven, I'd keep. Uh, it's hard, isn't it? I'm looking through the team. Polini, I love, but again, he's not our player. I like Odabel. I like Odabel. I think there's talent now. Listen, I'm not saying he's our starting left winger, but I do think if we can get a really good left winger that Odabel can learn off and play, you know, games along, you know, not alongside, but come on off the bench for him. I think it really could improve him. Um, but yeah, it's hard to disagree with that, Golden Sun. It really is. 10 out, 10 in, Ghost is saying, agreed. Agreed. We got a lot to do. Massive job for whoever's in charge, whether that be Frank or anyone else. We have a massive job to do. Ghost is saying, keep Vicario as backup keeper. I wouldn't be against that, but do you see Vicario? I don't see Vicario being happy about that, but we will see. Billy saying, selling Son was the right thing to do, not to get an adequate replacement for 2 years or a ready-made player to take his was a mistake. Agreed. Agreed. And this has been the problem, hasn't it? It's Study with Paul. Big up, mate. Saying, do you think this club will ever keep a manager 3 to 4 years, like when Klopp went to Liverpool and changed everything? Sadly, mate, I don't. Um, and that's the problem. It is a win now thing with football all over the place, isn't it? Look at Liverpool. You know, they won the league last season, struggling this season. Many fans want the manager out already. You know, City lose a couple and Pep's in trouble. And I just think is a way of the world. I don't see any manager really staying for 3 to 4 years at any club unless they're successful from the start. You know, pretty much like a Pep, who wasn't successful first season really, but from the second season onwards was really successful. And Klopp was saying, I just don't see it. You've got to hit the ground running. A bit like players now, right? You know, if a player comes in, doesn't hit the ground running, most fans want him out. Look at Xavi. So many fans saying he's not good enough, he's too lightweight, you know, get rid. Other players, Tau, not good enough, get rid. You know, and listen, I don't necessarily not agree with Tau, but it's just the way it's football culture now. Benny Guy saying, absolutely, man, 100%. I was merely trying to attack Spurs fans' weak mentality. You're right, bro. Yeah, I think you're probably right, mate. I think a lot of fans, and I don't think just Spurs fans, I think many fans have a weak mentality. I think it is that win now. We want a win now. Lose a couple of games and it's panic stations. Um, I don't know. It's a difficult one. I think for me as a Spurs fan, I was so like drained from Tottenham last season. No, not it's that'll be unfair for me to say the last 2 seasons under Ange, because I thought the first season was okay. Certainly last season was drained from it, and, I just I don't wanna see another go down another road of sacking a manager straight away after a couple of bad results. I think we need to give him the same sort of, time that we give Postecoglou, and I know Postecoglou started well and then went down, whereas Frank has kind of started to go down early, but we have to give him time to build. He is renowned for starting slowly at every club he's been at. Um, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Listen, at the end of the day, we're just fans, right? We have no say in it. If Frank gets sacked tomorrow, my life still goes on. I don't really care. But for stability of the club, I'd rather we kept him for now. Billy saying Conte and Jose were doing nothing at Spurs, as Spurs were not in their league. Spurs don't operate like that, so they're wasted employment. Agreed. I think it was one of those. Certainly with Mourinho, I think. Levy was clever in the sense that when he sacked Poch, and I'm not saying it was clever to sack Poch, but when he sacked Poch, he probably thought, Poch has nearly got this team over the line. Let's get a winner in to get this team over the line. And it just didn't work. So, and Conte, you know what? Conte did great when he first came in, didn't he? But let's be honest, Spurs were under him. And he always made that clear, you know, signing an 18-month contract. Spurs were never his first choice. He come because we offered him a lot of money. And, you know, that's the way it was. Ghost is saying Conte Mourinho didn't work because of Enoch. Jose got to a final and got sacked. He did. Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing I will massively blame Enoch for. Just let Mourinho have the final. You might as well. He's got us there. Um, but yeah, weird one. I think that was all to do with money as well. I really do. Maybe contract. Maybe if Mourinho won, he would have automatically got more money. I don't know. But yeah, it was a weird sacking, that one. Rodney saying Frank will get it right. I hope so, mate. I really do. Um, Binny guy saying this Frank isn't Frank Sinatra, mates. Wake up. We got a dull Frank. I don't know. I'm just listen, I'm not enjoying the football right now, especially at home. But I just think it's too early yet. I think it's too early. Like I say, January, we're losing games still. I will probably change my mind. But right now, just a bit too early. I'm not prepared to just yeah, not prepared to go against them just yet. Just yet. Billy saying Spurs were never going to buy the caliber of players that Jose and Conte were going to need to be successful. So there was 0 point in employing them. Yeah, quite possibly. Ghost is saying, yeah, they did. They waited until the transfer window closed to tell us 100 million in the summer was nowhere near enough backing. Agreed. Agreed. Agreed, mate. Billy Guy saying, looking back, it was a great PR show with Conte and Jose. Amazon something, right? Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, imagine wouldn't quite be the same, would it, if you know it was Thomas Frank in the Amazon documentary rather than Mourinho. It was a good documentary, and yeah, so interesting. Side dancers in the house saying hi everyone. If we did let Frank go, Xavi would be my number one choice. I wanted him before Frank. I'm with you now, mate. I'm with you. Big up side dancer. I'm with you. Xavi for me would be the one. Um, Yeah, I would. I still like Glasner as well, but again, he's pragmatic, and difference is he's a bit more of a winner than Frank is. But we'll see what happens going forward. Shem Tam saying Poch better get the group stage at the World Cup, or Trump will have him deported. Well, that maybe could be a good thing for us. Um, We will see. Rich is in the house. Big up, Rich. Sent Nige is a smooth operator. Please subscribe. Great contact. Big up, mate. I hope you're well. Long time no see. And yeah, hope you're good, mate. Hope you're good. Listen sends Xavi 10, Bergwijn, Polina 6. That's the answer. Frank hasn't played them together once. 100%. I agree with this. 100%. That would be my midfield three today. Polina has to start for me every game. Bergvall in the 8, Xavi in the 10. That gives us the quality in Polina in the tackling, winning the ball back, the aggression. It gives us Bergvall. It gives us, players all over the pitch, winning balls, a player who can make things happen as well, and a player in Xavi who can create. And hopefully today is the day. I really do hope today is the day. Shem Tam saying, Poch, I wanted to stay, but too many negative things were happening between him and Levy. Never wanted Mourinho, and especially Nuno and Conte. Been going downhill ever since. I think I agree, but I think it was always going to go downhill, right? Spurs were never going to, we got at that level. Spurs were never going to push on at that time because I think we overachieved. I think we overachieved under Pochettino, and I don't think it was. I mean, it was great that it happened. I don't think it was meant to quite happen. And there was only one way it was going to go after that, and that's down. Let's hope this board now are going to back this manager and make our beautiful club great again. Because listen, no matter what we all think, no matter what we all think of what any manager or any board, we all have something in common, right? We all absolutely love Tottenham Hotspur. We love this club. We love the badge. We love everything about the club. We just can't stand the managers or the boards or the players at times that play for us. But we all love that shirt. We all love that badge. And for me, when I see another fan, especially when I see an Arsenal fan, Jesus, in an Arsenal shirt, I'm like, you poor guy. Yes, they might be winning things this season, but I could just never wear an Arsenal shirt. It's an ugly shirt. It's just grim. Whereas Spurs, there's something beautiful about that white shirt and that beautiful cockerel on the shirt standing on a ball. For me, that's all that matters. No matter what players, no matter what managers we have, no matter who we have in charge, I will always love this club, just like you all. And that's what we all have in common. And I think we should celebrate that. Wow, that was a bit intense. Stephen's in the house saying, "Good morning, Nigel. Just back from California and saw Sunny okay for LA. The boy still has it way too good for that league. Still believe he could have done a job for us." I think, yeah, I think Sonny is big up, first of all, Stephen. Big up to you, mate. I think Sonny is at the level now where he should be. And that's, I'm not being harsh on Sonny because he has been brilliant for Spurs over the years. Absolute legend of Tottenham Hotspur, ending it with lifting that trophy in Bilbao. But I think he's at his level now. I think American soccer, I think for him, I think a lot of players go there towards the end of their career, don't they, and really shine. Beckham did it, Rooney did it, Sonny's doing it. Um, I'd say Messi's doing it, but Messi could still play in the Premier League and be amazing. But so many players go there and stand out. I just think their quality is so much. But Sonny's still got it, but he's got that extra yard, hasn't he? Or extra 2 yards in the US where he can get the ball, get it out of his feet, and he's still a brilliant player. But just think the Premier League's a bit too quick for him now, which is sad because he's been fantastic. Golden Sun saying 4-2-2-2, Polina, Sarr, Xavi, Bergval, Kudus, and Mawani. I mean, that's the other thing. We could play Xavi off the left. And I know a 4-2-2-2 is kind of a bit more central. Let's the fullbacks bomb on. Um, yeah, let's see. Let's see what happens. It's going to be interesting to see what happens today under Frank. Billy saying after the fiasco of the World Cup draw, just wow. Bingai, no thanks to an American project, bigger, better, boring as hell, and a massive PR project. No thanks. Guys, I will leave it there. I've been going over an hour, a bit too long. Spotlight on Spurs is in. Lukey, big up, mate. If you haven't, get over to Luke's channel and smash the subscribe button. But I am going to leave it there, guys. I have a lot to do. I haven't even had my coffee this morning. And I need that. Guys, much love to each and every one of you. Big up to Jimmy. So I didn't get your message till just now, mate. But everyone who's come in and said hello, Kate Rixham as well. Big up, Kate. I hope you're well. Guys, smash that like button on the way out. I really would appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Let's hope for 3 points for Spurs today. Let's hope for a win. Let's hope for a good performance. Let's hope for a few goals. And let's hope that Xavi Simons starts and maybe gets an assist. You know what? I'd love it if Xavi Simons just picked up the ball from outside the box, shifted it one way, and just curled one into the top corner. I would absolutely love it. That would make my day. Let's hope it happens. Guys, have a great Saturday. Stay safe. Enjoy Christmas shopping if you're going. I ain't. And as always, stay positive, stay poised, and stay pure Coys.